Howdy everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Bren. This is the first long form video on this channel, so I'm going to be taking you through the very first sketchbook that I've managed to complete. I'm really excited to show you my work so far. Any love for the channel would be greatly appreciated. Like or subscribe, and if you've got any ideas for future videos for this channel, please leave them in the comments below. But let's get to the video. I hope you enjoy it. Right, so first of all, this is a Art Creations by Talons sketchbook. I think this is A5. It's mixed media. I'm not sure about the GSM of the paper, but it's really good quality. Like, I've used watercolors, acrylic, inks. I think the only thing that I've not used in it is alcohol markers, because they tend to bleed through a lot of paper that I use it with. Couple of stickers, random hot chocolate one from McDonald's, because I love hot chocolate and I thought it needs more stickers. Bulbasaur, I think one of my favourite Pokemon. And this sticker was from a friend years and years ago. I went to university with. I was only in university for a year. The layout wasn't for me, but I met quite a few friends there, and it kind of opened me up to art in a whole. I did illustration. Yeah, so that's the cover. This is the first page. So I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was on somebody's YouTube, maybe Sandy Hester, I think she's called, or Sketchbook School. But one of the tips was to put on the start, if found, because if you lose your sketchbook, it's a lot of work that you put into it, and if there's like an email or a phone number, it might get back to you if it's lost. And then another important one is a start date and a finish date. So this is this size. I'm just looking. I've got a shelf behind me with all my sketchbooks on. This is my only A5 one that I've actually managed to finish. I've got a much larger one that I've finished, and that was more about when I first got back into art this time around. So I started this June 28th, 2024, and then I finished it not long ago, April this year, 2025. So 280 days, and that's not consecutive. My mind tends to, so I'll be painting, and then I'll be in a sketchbook, and then I do a bit of Warhammer, which is completely different to, well, I suppose it's painting in a way, but it's completely different to this layout. But I'm yabbering on, so let's get going. So that's just an empty page, cover page there. So this one is watercolor with fine liner, I think. This was, I spent a couple of days with my dad. My dad's a gardener, and he has a chance to do gardens at these really big, fancy houses. And this had a lake, and it had this kind of outhouse, and it was beautiful. And I just had to, this was at the start, and I didn't have my sketchbook when I was working, but I took a few pictures, and when I got home, I was eager to just get down memories from the day. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. So I think there's a couple of these. So yeah, this is mixed media generally. So fine liner, watercolor, a bit of white paint pen. Love the blues in this. Same again. I love when the kind of makes it look like it's crashing against the soil and stuff like that. This is more my style in general. A bit wacky, but I don't know. It just feels exciting. I've always loved splatters. When I was a kid in art school, I think it was primary school, I did an ink splatter. They had all blowing ink with straws and stuff, and pretty much since then I've been obsessed with drips and stuff, and especially when I'm drawing. So same again, watercolor. I think that just maybe general coloured pens over this. This is a bit more detailed, so that's got more layers over, but again I think it's just watercolor based, and then fine liner over the top. This exercise, I don't know how I came up with it. I think I was just kind of stuck to what to do, so I was just maybe doing different shapes and patterns with the watercolor, and then I'd go back into it once it dried and pick out different bits. So watercolor first, then pick out shapes with fine liner. But you'll see this throughout this sketchbook. And I've done some other A3, much larger pieces in this design, and I don't know what it is, but it really ticks something in my brain. I really enjoy it. So same again, just looking for the shapes. It's really fun to do as well. If you've not got anything in mind that you want to draw, it's really fun to get something on the page and feel productive for that day. This is cool. I like this. Through the sketchbook, I'll just say it tends to go in a theme, and then it'll just jump off. It's very much the way I tend to draw or I tend to paint, but I'm really happy that I've finished a sketchbook and I can go through it with you guys. I've got a much bigger one, like I said at the start. I'm maybe going to do a video about that one soon. This, I can't remember the name of the technique, the exercise, but this is similar. So you're doing a splodge, and then it's all about imagination. So you're doing a splodge with colour, or you could do it, I suppose, with ink, like a kind of Rorschach test kind of deal. And then you're just picking out like what you see. So like just a lot of random scuba diver, bird. But it's fun, and again, it kind of gets you to do something like this before you're doing a big painting. Can kind of like get you going, I suppose. I couldn't tell you what that is. Again, it's just me picking out like a monster. Kind of looks like a weird Pikachu. Same again. I'm a big fan of swirls and triangles. This is where it starts jumping, I feel. I really like this. So it's like banners, like headers, I suppose. But like, I was purposely doing ones that look like kind of leaves, and then like just the random blue and the red at the back. Like, I really like this stuff. So previously when I told you that I did one in a big A3 style, it's very much like this. So it's a lot of like different shapes, a lot of squares, and like the odd kind of like bit of leaf and stuff. This is more like an abstracty one. But I find like when colour's involved, I tend to like, I don't know, it's exciting for me. You'll see in a bit. So yeah, these are like really colourful, really bright. I think I've just done, so watercolour first, pick out shapes, crosshatch, coloured fine liners, bold the lines with black. So yeah, so really liking this style. So this is when I started like, realising like, oh, this is pretty cool. So this is probably another jump. So this is more like kind of, not fine art, but more detailed, I suppose. This is like skull, I think like a sheep skull. I go through stages of like wanting to draw, like, so I'll be painting my abstract stuff, which I really enjoy, and I feel like I've got a style, and that's a really good thing. But then I tend to compare myself to like other people's work, especially on Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, am I that good of a drawer, like the detailed stuff? So I tend to like branch out and try and draw detailed stuff, but it tends to always circle back to the abstract, which is good. I think I've found my path, I suppose. That's cool with all the different colours. Same again. This is just like a random dragon. Again, with the crazy eyes. That was, I'm sure I copied that. Well, not copied the idea of like the flow of the dragon off, I think it may be Pinterest. This is a medium that I'm not really keen on. This is oil pastel. So I do this thing where I do one-line drawings. So like, I'll do a drawing of a certain thing without taking my hand off, and then you end up, with like a one-lined character or a piece. I tend to do like dogs or skulls and stuff like that. I like the character look, but oil pastel just doesn't gel with me properly. And it kind of leaves a weird feeling. But it's good to try different mediums, I suppose. So heron's my favourite animal. Always has been since I was a little kid. Used to go to my dad's allotment and they're always flying over there. So yeah, I've got a much bigger painting. I did a painting recently on a canvas, which I'm very proud of. And this is just like a bit of a doodle, trying to get like the flow of the neck. I like this guy. He's got a bit of character going on. Right, so yeah, this is more my wacky stuff. So this is a lot of these are like one-line drawings that I was talking about, going around. And I think there's a short on my YouTube of me doing one in the smoking shelter when I was at work. The condensation on the smoking shelter. But yeah, just a lot of characters. I really like this. This was a technique. I think I was watching a video on Sketchbook School, and he was doing plants. I think it was like a draw with me video, and he was talking about drawing a plant, but like not looking at your drawing. So just looking at the plant as you're drawing, and then it makes it more like fluid and it looks more natural. And I feel like it did quite well. Again, this is more bright, vibrant stuff that I really enjoy. I love layers of different materials. I work quite fast because I'm not one of these painters or artists that can spend a lot of time on one piece. I'll do a background and then go away and have a brew or play a video game or something, and then I'll go back to it and I'll put something else on it, and again and again and again. So it ends up being I don't know, a lot of time spent in the piece, but not continuously. So this is when you get like different layers, like, you know, and then something in my brain says like, right, that's enough, that looks nice as it is. Or sometimes I even go further than that, and then in my brain I end up ruining it. So this is again watercolor base, fine liner, just experimenting with different things, you know, different layers on the background. Same again, that's the white, that triangle background is like a white paint pen. I really enjoy it because the way it comes out, but it does leave a bit of a shine. This is a cow. This is again when I was working with my dad. We was working on a farm. It's a dairy farm. I think it's a dairy farm. And there's loads of cows in. These big cows in the field. And I took some pictures again, and then when I got home, I was like, I'm going to draw that. But yeah, just watercolor. I get this effect by basically spraying the whole page with water, and then like just dipping little bits of watercolor, and it kind of disperses. And if you do that quick enough before it dries, you get this kind of blending, and it gives like the idea of like, you know, patches, you know, the black and white of a cow. I think it looks good. This again is a day where I must have been bored or stuck for ideas for what to do. So this is just basically me going with the fine liner and going a bit mad with it, and then picking out different parts and making patterns. So hopefully in the future I can look back at this and go, oh, that looks pretty cool, I'm going to include that in a painting. But I like these little exercises because it kind of, I think rather than doing nothing towards my art for a day, if I do something like this, I feel like I've achieved something and it becomes useful in the future. Weirdly, I don't know if you guys think this, but that looks a bit like an elephant to me, like the eye and the trunk. But there you go. Trees, I love drawing trees. And dragons, so it seems, without wings. I don't know why that's not got any wings. Yeah, just I love the flow of trees. Like I hope to do more of these sketchbook tours, but you'll see like trees are a big theme like throughout my artwork. Yeah, that's just like a lizard dragon. That's watercolor. This is another board day or stuck day. I think it's really important when you're stuck to push through it or just at least do something. But I think that's really powerful after a bit. It's like a bit of a doodle, you know. Sometimes people doodle when they're on the phone, you know, like on a post-it note or stuff. But after a bit, if you keep putting a bit of detail into it, it adds up, doesn't it? Some random drawings here. This is when my partner started playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Very late. I think this game's been out for a long time. But I would sit next to her and she would be playing the game, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to draw some cowboys. And this kicked off. So I'm going to probably speed through a couple of pages now. And this kicked off again that need to be better at drawing. So I went through countless videos on YouTube how to draw faces, and I feel like I got better. And I do use it sometimes in my work, but in general, like I don't think it's needed. Like unless you're going to be like a fine artist and really focus on high detail, like especially my stuff ends up being like abstract and very fluid and expressive and not too detailed. Like, but I'll show you what I've been doing. So that's another guy. Meant to be a cowboy, but ends up looking like Steve Ray Vaughan a little bit, or maybe like a Jimi Hendrix kind of character. Right, so here's where I start trying to get better at faces. So I'm just going to flick through all these because they're very similar. But this was a box method, Janos Gurashk. I might have butchered that name, I apologise. Face exercise, square, boxes plus cylinder. So that was all about getting the square, finding the face, and then the cylinder would be the neck. There's all sorts of different methods. So there was a Loomis method that I was looking at. They are all bald for a reason. I wasn't focusing on hair. I was just trying to get the face, or trying to get proportions right. I guess I got a bit bored and just did a I don't know if that's a cat or a dog, maybe a bit of both. So same again, faces. This is where I'm trying to document like 1, 2, 3, see if I'm getting better. But I found it doesn't happen that fast. It takes a lot of time. I feel like this is a bit cursed for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like you can tell he's looking up, and just maybe the colours don't fit right in my head. Sorry for the foul language there. That's just telling you my opinions on the whole, trying to draw detailed faces. That was a part of a Draw With Me sketchbook school. Sketchbook school is a big inspiration of mine. It's run by a man called Danny Gregory, and he really does like put up some. He puts up like a lot of short videos, like short clips, and they can be quite inspiring. He does a thing every Thursday called Draw With Me, and one of the things was Wizards of Oz, and he did the whole gang, like Tin Man, Lion, and stuff. But in the time he did all of them, I did just a Tin Man. I didn't end up going back to it. This is Carl Pilkington. I've been a big fan of his shows. I think that is meant to be Carl Pilkington as well, but I wouldn't want to show him because I don't think it's too good. Right, so this is I think the Loomis method. I'm not sure. No, maybe it's not. So this is like another thing that I picked up on, like, so hairline, eyebrows have to be a certain height, nose, and it was all about like trying to get the measurements of the face. And this stuff, as much as I like this guy, I quite like this guy, kind of like cartoony. I don't know, for me personally, this stuff kind of kills me a little bit, and it slows me down with my artwork. It's not as freeing, it's not as colourful. It feels more like work, where when I'm painting with different colours and different strokes, it feels more free to me. Those eyes are good though. I do like them. More faces. I can kind of feel like I'm enjoying this more because there's more going on. There's more character. There's more like layers, and the need for detail when it's kind of colourful and vibrant like this. I feel like it's not needed that much. Like as when you're going down here and you're trying to do like a portrait maybe of someone, like it's very hard to get likeness and stuff. But say if you're doing your own thing and just going with it, like I feel like the need for detail kind of fades away a little bit. So more, I'm guessing he's just left jail with a pinstripe, just different characters anyway. Doodles, I suppose. This is good, I like this. So that's Posca paint pen, going over with like a fine liner, coloured fine liner, and then a bit of black over it. But like I like the kind of flat matte look that's give. Again, some kind of, I think that's watercolour, and then just fine liner. These are cool. So this is Posca again. I know you can see the lines underneath, but I quite like that. It's kind of scratchy. Shows that I'm learning maybe. Just a random, I'm guessing he's an army guy. That says MJ. That wasn't meant to be Michael Jackson. It just ended up looking like him. Happy accident, I suppose. Creative block. So this was July last year. Creative block. Uninspired. So this is me just trying to get something on the page, something, doodle a little bit, see if I can get anything from it, These, I put these on my Instagram. These are just something about them. Very colourful, kind of like the Cheshire Cat. I love how messy they look and like the fur and stuff. I tend to spur towards things like this, more wacky style of art. Again, so you've got your skulls, lizard, like big fan of Lord of the Rings and like anything fantasy. So as I put these videos up, you'll see like the odd elf or the odd like goblin character, and maybe that will make more sense. This, believe it or not, was Tupac. I was trying to pick out, again, I don't think I've give up yet, have I? I'm trying to do the portraits, which is good, I suppose. It's always good to come back to things. But yeah, them two were meant to be Tupac. I think you can kind of see in that one. Again, doing different proportions. And this is one-line drawings. So these are all done with one line, so I've not lifted my pen off. I tell a lie, I must have done, because of that there. So that one is, and these ones are. Yeah, so it's, I really enjoy the one line. It's quite, it's fun to figure out different things. I think basically this page is me trying to figure out the robot version of it. But yeah, I enjoy those. Like a little rabbit thing there, that's pretty cool. I think, so at the start when I mentioned the alcohol markers and it bleeds through, that's what I was talking about. Because this is quite a thick paper, it's like mixed media paper, it's bled through to these, but it's no danger. Another face, that was from a portraits book I got off online. Some more one-line drawings, this time with Posca. I think this kind of stuff would be good stickers, or maybe like little tattoos if I did it in just black. So this is all the one-line drawings that I've managed to figure out. So I do a skull, bear, I couldn't tell you what that is, maybe like a dog character. So the robot, I ended up doing it. The bird, a wolf, like a dog, and a person, and then these as well. This one was really cool to do, but I tend to forget how to do it. Same again, yeah, so it's like an orc kind of character. Some more faces. This is where I got my Pentel brush pen. So Pentel brush pens, they contain like cartridges, and it's got a brush nib, and it's really kind of full of ink at the end. It's like juicy. It's like when you put it round, you can get like, it depends how much pressure you put on the pen for the line that you get. So this is the same pen, but a bit darker because I put a bit more weight on it. That was the Day of the Dead draw with me that I did. So I'm originally from Manchester, and I've moved with my partner to Gateshead in Newcastle. And when we first came up, she took me on a tour around the place, and we seen like the Tyne Bridge, all the bridges in Newcastle. This is, it's not Gray's Monument. She's gonna kill me not filming this. It's a church in Newcastle. And then this is in Durham. So this is a knocker that was on this big door. This is like a bridge going over towards the university. These like some carvings that we've seen in the tree. Like Durham's like really beautiful. There's a lot of like nice walks there. This is, if you can see that these are meant to be people, like a kind of really fast kind of drawing. This is like a monument in Durham Centre. It had like this statue on top of it, like an old warrior kind of guy. This is just like a bit of a mess around with the paint, the Pentel brush pen. That's my dog. Yeah, that's just been on the motorway, I think. Going to Manchester, visiting for a bit. Random. That's I'm guessing a rabbit going up. So this started off another series. I was trying to do a character or a subject for each letter of the alphabet. So arachnid, did a little spider, kind of cartoonish, but it's kind of like the way I prefer it. Budgie, this is actually my budgie. So my nana sadly passed away last year, and she left a budgie, and me and my partner said, well, we'll look after it. So this is Sonny. I did a free painting on canvas of him as well. He's a bit of a nutter, as birds go, but he fits in very well in this house. Crab, so that's a crab. Nothing more to say on that one, I suppose. Some splatters in the background. This is watercolour mainly, I feel. And then maybe like a fine line at edge. Dolphin. Oh, weirdly, last night there's a beach in Sunderland called Rorke Beach, and we seen dolphins for the very first time. Wild dolphins. It was like just as we was about to leave, we saw them like jumping. Quite a few of them, to be fair. I couldn't even be bothered putting an elephant for that one. But yeah, that's an elephant. Just like a side profile. I quite like that. And then I guess that's where I've stopped doing the alphabet. That's what I tend to do. Sometimes I judge myself on that. I'm like, oh, why can't I finish something? But it's just in my nature. I'll just jump from thing to thing. So I'll just keep going with whatever I'm doing. Early on, I said that I do Warhammer. One of the armies that I collect is the Death Corps of Krieg, and this is what they look like. I like the black in that. It kind of like pops it, makes it pop a bit more. That was just some research for a commission idea, which I got really stuck on. I will return to that though, maybe, and get something going. Same again with that. This is, so again, I sprayed the page with water, like a light dusting of water, and then different droplets of watercolour, and disperse it, and then wait for it to dry, and then just go over it with some kind of simple wiggles and then some leaves. I think it's quite nice. But if it weren't for this bleed in there, that may make like a nice little print. Maybe if I went over the leaves with like a black pen. This is the style that I really enjoy. So previously at the start of this video, I was talking about doing the watercolor and then picking out the shapes. This is this. So picking out the shapes and then going cross hatching. I suppose if I'm not crossing over the lines, it's not cross hatching. I suppose it's just line work. But yeah, I really enjoy that. Trees again. I just love like the flow of trees and the pattern to the bark. So yep, same again. This is like more of a full page spread kind of thing. Some brickwork here, and then just the line work. Just playing around with colours. It's really, really fun. Same again. So I think there was a bit of a jump from this. So this was this year, so 3rd of the 4th. I did this a few months before this, basically. It's quite bold. It's quite a different change. So it's just like some kind of abstract piece there. I think at first I wanted to put kind of like these were different TV screens, like an idea, or maybe faces in each one of them. But I quite liked just the idea of it being like that. Skull again. Something that I always tend to fall back on is skulls. I think they're quite fun to draw. I love like doing eyes like this, especially in the bigger paintings. So that's just Posca, black, dark greens and light greens. I couldn't tell you what that is. Some kind of beast, but I quite like it. I quite like how it's quite expressive, and I like the white coming off it. Again though, the white shines. I need to get a different paint pen. Another skull. And then here we go, the last one. So this is the 5th of the 4th. Yeah, that's when I finished it. 5th of the 4th. That is a tree. I take the dog on a walk around where I live, and there's a lot of like nature walks, and there's a big tree, and there's like a bit of a river, and it's just beautiful. It's a massive tree. So I think it's like a white oak, and took loads of pictures of it. Came back and just had to do like a little drawing. But yeah. Right guys, if you made it this far in the video, I'd like to say thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please hit that like button or subscribe button. And if you've got any ideas for future videos for this channel, please leave them in the comments down below. But thanks again for watching. Take care.